Right. So the topic is writing first. Let me share the screen. There is a background music sound. Please, can you turn off your microphone? All right, thank you. So the next topic is Unit 6, writing. And as the first paragraph is the introduction, we have talked already about it. The writing is one of 4 skills: reading, writing, listening, and speaking. All these 4 they will be introducing in that way. And writing is a productive skill. Amali, what's the other productive skill? One is writing. Other one?
Speak.
Productive skill.
Speaking.
Speaking. Why? Because it goes from our side to the other people. And the one which we receive are called receptive skills. So in the receptive skill, Nilusha, what are the ones? Oh no, Nilusha, Nilusha, right? No, that one is Nilushi.
I'm Nilusha. The other one is Nirosha.
Other is Niro. No, Nilu also over there. Some I saw, or just no, that is Nirosha. Okay, fine. Yes, Nilosha. Nilosha, what are the receptive skills? You remember?
Reading and listening.
Reading and listening. And why it is receptive? Because it comes to us. The information we are getting out of that, and it comes to us.
Yeah.
So these 2, receptive and productive, keep in mind. And now is a general question I am asking you all. These 4 skills, there are 2 basic skills and 2 advanced skills in it. Can you tell me which one is basic, which one is advanced? If I tell you 1, 2, 3, 4, so one comes first, which one comes? Basic. In the language, we learn that first, then second, then third, and then the last. So 2 last, third and fourth, they are advanced. First and second are basic. Can you just use your own intuition and tell me which one it would be? Anyone?
I feel that.
Who is that? Who is
right.
that?
Nilusha.
Nilusha, the cat one. Yes.
Yes. I feel that writing and speaking are more advanced.
Writing and speaking.
Speaking, because we are giving something out. So like.
Writing and speaking. Okay. And your reason is because we are passing the information to the others. So that's advanced. Mr. Bandara.
I think listening and speaking.
Listening and speaking.
Yeah.
Now, one is productive, one is receptive. Your reason for that?
I think if we can listen, that we easy to speak. Because
Okay.
listening is very powerful.
So it is basic or advanced? You are telling what?
Sometimes will be basics.
Both of them.
Both.
All right. Ishadi.
Yes, I think listening and speaking are basic skills, and reading and writing are advanced skills.
Listening and speaking are basic skills. Reading and writing are advanced skills.
Yeah.
Right? Okay. What's your reason? Okay, just I'll come back to you. Dani.
Basic skills, listening and speaking, and advanced reading and writing.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Nirosha Hitrusenga.
Yes, sir. I think, sir, the basic first is speaking.
Okay. Fine. Ashini Fernando.
I think so. Basic skills are listening and speaking. Advanced skills are reading and writing.
All right. Amali.
So the basic skills are listening and speaking. Advanced are reading and writing.
All right. Okay, then this is Nirosha. Nirosha, you said? You give me the answer?
Yes, sir.
All right. So
Basic.
now coming to who was that? Who was that? That was the first who told me Dani. Dani?
Yeah, I told basic listening, speaking, advanced reading and writing.
What's your justification or logic for that?
Listening, just we listen as when we were small. We do first thing listen, and then we try to talk, and then we need the knowledge to read and to write. We need knowledge for those basic skills, reading and
So,
writing.
reading and writing are advanced. Listening and speaking are
Basic.
basic. Listening is the first skill which we develop. Even if the baby is in mom's belly, listening is going on. They can't speak, but listening. That's why the mothers are asked to read the books while in the pregnancy and listen to the music. Why all these things? Because the child is listening. So listening is the basic part. After that, after the child is born, so then they start speaking, and initially there is just sounds coming out of the mouth, ooh, these kind of. Then those sound changes into words, not full words, letters, half a word. That is how. Then making two words, half a phrase, sentence. So they start speaking ultimately. And when it comes to reading and writing, although you can teach them at home also, but for that we send them to an institute, to school. So formal way they start reading and writing. Writing is the most advanced. Reading is a bit lower than that. So if you see, we teach English language. Now that's the common way of the language. But as you take the case of the English language, we teach that other way around. Am I right? When the child comes to the school, so first we start teaching them reading and writing. Listening and speaking are not there. Is it like that?
Yes.
Is it like that? Nilosha?
I don't think so.
Huh? No idea. Who is teaching in the school? Sumuda, you are teaching in the school?
Yes, sir.
So what do you do? So you don't teach them speaking and listening, right?
Yes.
Officially, and even speaking and listening, but there is no test for the speaking.
Yes.
Test is for the reading and writing.
Yes.
And those are advanced skills. So when we come to the second language, we teach the second language in other way around. Advanced skills, we teach them first. And the basic skills after O-level, when they have find the time of between O-level, A-levels, then they go for some spoken English courses and all that, they do that. So that's why there is a problem in learning the language, you know. So initially we need to make them habitual with the listening and speaking. So when they get habitual to that, it's easy for them to follow up the reading and writing. Like if you want to teach the child Sinhala language, reading, writing, so the child can understand well. Why? Because the child is used to speaking the language. Listening and speaking is okay, so the child can follow up Sinhala easily. But when it comes to the English language, it is the other way around. Anyhow, so let's go with the topic and then let's see what they say over here, right? So that means they involve producing language rather than receiving it, listening and reading. Very simply, we can say that writing involves communicating a message by making signs on a page. So what happens in the writing? We make signs on a paper, and that is like these signs. If you see different languages, the way it is written, so some are one way, some are other way, but those signs which we make, we call it letters and words, and that is the way we communicate to the writing. To write, we need to have something to communicate and usually someone to communicate it to. So we have to say something, and to someone we are going to say this. We have to address some audience in it. We also need to be able to form letters and words to join these together to make sentences or a series of sentences that link together and communicate our message in such a way as to get our message across. We will look into how we do that. Now, in this paragraph, they tell you in our day-to-day life, all this they tell you here, how we come across doing writing in our social life. We will start from here where their sub-skills start, okay? And that's the area where you will be tested also. Writing also involves using writing sub-skills. Some of these are related to accuracy. For example, using the correct forms of language. The others related to communicating our ideas. So highlight these two. These are the two sub-skills of the writing. Number one is accuracy. Second is communication. Is that clear? So now we will get into the detail of each. That, for example, in accuracy, what we check in accuracy. The writing sub-skill related to accuracy are spelling correctly, forming letters correctly, joining letters together correctly, or writing legibly. Legibly means clearly, not like the doctors. Doctors are writing, only pharmacists can understand it. The rest of the people, they just have to guess what is it. So punctuating correctly, using correct layouts, choosing the right vocabulary, using grammar correctly, joining sentences correctly, and correctly using paragraphs. So this is what we check in to accuracy. So when we say they have written accurately, so we check these things. Now, when we go to the second sub-skills, that is communication, there we see the writing sub-skill related to communicating our ideas include using appropriate style and register. Organizing ideas. Now, style and register, you remember register we discussed in the function. Appropriacy of the language in formal way or informal way. The way we have presented, that is called register, presenting the language. So which style we are presenting it. It is formal, it's informal, okay? Right, organizing ideas in helpful way, using the features typical of the text type. We are writing, joining our words and sentences clearly and using appropriate functions to express our meaning. For example, functions there are various functions which we have talked about. So all these, for those functions, we are using language. And that language here we are putting into writing. So whatever we write, there is a function. It might be a complaint letter, it might be a congratulation one, it might be an invitation, all right? It might be an essay, it might be a speech, it might be a shopping list, all right? It might be a note. So different ways, different functions are there in the writing way. Narrating, like telling a story, complaining, requesting, thanking, summarizing, all these are different type of function for which we use the communication method in the writing. Right. Now, the two things you understood, which we talk about, accuracy and communication. Danny, is it clear? Is it clear to all of you?
Yes.
Nilosha, Samudha?
So,
Yes.
okay.
All right, well done. So now we will go towards a little bit further, and if you see, sometimes there are books on writing skills. So if a writing skills book they have taken, and the content page, they show you like different modules are there in that, and it's the first one is dealing with write a fact file punctuation. It deals with the accuracy. Now, module 2, linking ideas in a narrative linkers, but so because then cohesion in accuracy. Again, it is in accuracy, and if you remind yourself the topic of reading. So do you remember that cohesion and coherence? You remember that? Who is going to differentiate this? What is cohesion? What is coherence?
Think about two paragraphs. One, this grammar.
Yeah. So which one is dealing with the language part, the grammar structure? Which one is with the
Cohesion.
Cohesion is grammatical link.
okay?
Coherence is
Linking two
this-
phrases, no?
the sense, the connection.
Well done.
Sense in the
Coherence is the sense connection between the tenses, sentences, and cohesion is the grammatical connection of the sentences. So if you apply that here, now they see here they say cohesion accuracy. You got it? Grammatically they are connected well or not. So likewise, if you go on, so different these topics, and they tell you that what are the things they are dealing with. Okay. Now we will come down here. What they say, the writers of this course book have chosen to focus here on two aspects of cohesion. Now this is dealing with the aspect of cohesion, making use of linkers. Now linkers, you people have to download the list of the linkers. Okay, it is also cohesive device. Note it down from the Google and check it that what are the linkers, because they may check you in the linkers also. Okay, and cohesive devices, linking ideas and writing a paragraphs. Other ways of making text cohesive, as I told you, linked together, include the use of reference words to refer backward and forward to other words in the text. Cohesive devices list you have to download. It is 1 or 2 lists will be there, and download to your device from the Google and check it. What are they? Plus you may find in the glossary also, which you have already. So the things which I am pointing out, just note it down in your own time, try to work on that. Right, so next one is the use of logical way of organizing the information in a text and the use of paragraphs and topic sentences. Topic sentence is a sentence that gives the main point or subject of a paragraph. There are many examples of these cohesive devices, ways of linking a text. Cohesive devices are very important in writing. maximum of the people we know only because, and, but, that much we know. The rest of we don't use, very less we use, okay? And effective writing, cohesive devices are very much important to use. There are many examples of these cohesive devices. We have linking text in the extract from the article entitled "My Favorite Lesson," written by a teacher of English. Some are highlighted. Let's see how they have highlighted in a topic. They have given you an example over here. And you can, in your own time, you can just go through that. I will go through the first paragraph only. You see here, I'm not sure I could say what my favorite lesson was. I sort of like everything. I liked academic subjects and chose to take exam in them. But I also like practical subjects like woodwork and cookery. So if you see highlighted, the first one underlined is topic sentence. And number B is them. It is pronoun referring back to academic subject. Likewise, when you go through the rest of the paragraphs, you will see that and find out what are the areas they have highlighted and what they are. Right. Next one is a writer. Now we will see the process of writing, how it goes. A writer not only employs various sub-skills when writing, but also goes through a number of stages of writing. Those often involve, particularly for longer or more important piece of writing stage. So when we going to start writing, there are some stages. And that's what we need to practice with the children, because children, they straight away start writing. No, make them habitual of getting into the practice of preparation, working out what you want to say, getting or developing ideas, working out the order in which you want to say it, what you want to say, and how you want to say that, which way you want to say that. Planning, organizing the ideas. Drafting, writing the first draft, the first version of version of piece of writing that may well be changed. First drafting. Editing means correcting and improving the content of the text. Proofreading, checking for mistakes in accuracy or correcting that. Proofreading, checking for mistakes in accuracy. Redrafting, these ones meanings you people need to look. You can check that topic of the writing, reading in the glossary. You will find these words there and with the definition. Redrafting, writing a second final version of your piece of writing. These stages form part of writing process. We can see from them that writing in fact begins before we put pen on paper and start word processing, and that it involves the writer in carrying out several steps which each lead into the next one and aim to improve the quality of the final product. So writing is not something you just start writing there. It starts before you put the pen on the paper. And all these stages, we need to stepwise goes with the children and make them aware of it, that how they have to follow it. Now, sub-skills of writing that we choose to teach will vary. It depending on our learner's age and needs. So according to the age and the need mean why they want to learn this. What is their need? They want to improve some particular skills. They want to improve some particular writing skills, or they want to improve their formal writing or academic writing. Okay, what they want to improve. The need we need to know, and the age. Different age, adults different way, secondary students different way, Primary student different way, preschool different way. All age-wise, there is a difference of teaching them the same skill. At primary level, we may spend a lot of time teaching learners how to form letters and words. That's what we do at the primary level. How to join them together and how to write short text of a few words or sentences. Now, these Cambridge people, they don't know. In our schools, our children are writing complete essays. They say primary level only forming the text, words, sentences. Our one, they are writing the full stories. Why? Because they have memorized and reproducing. So the technique of creativity, creative writing and all that we don't do with the student because it takes a lot of efforts. And giving a sample essay and copying it, that's easy way. So usually in our school is the second one going on. How to join them together and how to write short text in a few words or a sentence, often by copying. Learners at primary level are not just learning how to write in English, but also how to write letters and words. This may also be true for learners whose first language does not use the Roman alphabet. So at the primary level, although in our schools, as I told you, our children are writing different other things in the English, but they say that they need to join the words, 2-letter, 3-letter, all these words, plus then going to write the sentences and some text type, okay? And mostly it will be done by copying, to look at the word and write it here. So that's the practice we do in the primary. Then what happens when we go to secondary? At secondary level, we may need to focus more on other kinds of accuracy and the communication skills required to write longer text such as letters, emails, and composition. Now you see, according to the Cambridge, compositions, letters, emails, all these comes in the secondary. But I think our children in grade 4 and 5 also do that. Am I right? Is there anyone who's teaching those levels, grades? Sumuda, what are the grades you are teaching?
Grade 1, sir.
Okay, you are not teaching the letter writing, okay?
Yes, sir.
No, sir.
Fine. Nilusha, are you teaching?
I do a couple of spoken English classes for like about 16 years and 18-year-old girls, but that's about it for now. I haven't been a full-time teacher.
No, but teaching
Very
is
recently I started.
No, Nilusha, teaching is teaching.
Yes.
You are teaching one student or two students in the school or out of the school, that doesn't matter. We are talking about teaching. Teaching means you are teaching somebody language
Yes.
or some other subject. It may not necessarily be an institute or in a school, but the process is the same. Only in the school and institute, there might be some other thing also to fulfill, coming in time there and doing some different things also. That is a different way. But at your private time when you are teaching, you are not bound by those things. But if you see, actual the thing is teaching. So the school teacher, when she comes to the point of teaching, she teaches the same way, the way you will be at a private time. Okay? So there is no difference in the teaching. We are talking about the teaching. So is there anyone who is teaching 4th and 5th? Dayani?
I'm teaching for grade 3.
Grade 3, are you teaching them how to write letters?
Yes. No, grade 1 and 2, the teachers are they are teaching how to write the letters.
Okay, not letters.
Yes.
Letter.
Yeah.
Writing this.
No, grade 1 and 2 teachers are teaching to write the letter, how to write the letters.
Okay, what do you do in the writing skills?
Writing skills, we just we follow some grammar.
Are they Are you doing that writing story?
Writing story, yes, yes. Sometimes for Cambridge English we are doing, yes. There's a subject called Cambridge English. For that we do comprehension part and reading and writing, yes. Copywriting.
Copywriting is okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
And
And anyone is there who is teaching 4th and 5th?
So I teach for grade 4.
Who?
Amali.
Amali Vardhana.
Yes, Amali.
Yeah, so you are teaching grade 4. Are they writing essay?
Yes, sir.
Yes, that's what I was looking for. So here, now what I'm telling you actually, now the people who are expert of the language, like Cambridge people, you know, that is their mother language also, but doesn't mean when it's your mother language, you are the expert of it. Like, you know, how many of you are like, you know, Sinhala speaking is mother language, but you are not expert of the language. Am I right? Unless you teach Sinhala language as a subject. So likewise, we cannot take each and every person who is speaking English, a native speaker, expert of the language. Because knowledge of the language is a different thing. Speaking of the language as a native speaker is a different thing. So what I'm telling you is they suggest that at primary level, we should not go for the emails, essay, and those sort of writing. But here we start in grade 4 and 5. Mostly we do that. Am I right? So that's what is the thing. Like we do the things just for the sake of doing, because we want to show that we do a lot of these writing skills and these to the children. But actually, what happens when we go through the learning process, whether the child is learning it appropriately or not. So there the child is only memorizing and reproducing it. So that's what they suggest here, that what happens in the secondary, there we need to focus different kind of accuracy in communication skills, like write longer text such as letters, emails, or compositions, but not at a primary level. But anyhow, we have to go on, like you people have to go on the way the school is asking you to do. Before they start writing, it is useful to encourage learners to think about why they are writing. Now, this is when you are practicing with them the writing skills. You need to encourage them reason for writing. You know, like a while ago, when I was asking you the question about the basic skills and advanced skills, so some of you, when they told me, I said, what's your reason behind that? Because you need to know in the education academic field, always reason need to be clear to them why it is like this. But maximum of the time we just try to not clear up the reasons. Sometimes we do, but majority we just ask them to follow up what is said. So always make them to think why you want to write, the reason for writing, and who they are writing to, their audience, to whom you are writing this. This helps them to focus on what they want to say, the content, and how to say it, register in style. Is that clear? This point is clear?
Yes.
All right. So we will go to the next one, and many activities exist to help learners practice accuracy in writing. For example, labeling, copying, sentencing, sentence completion, gap filling, sentence transformation exercises, dividing text into paragraphs, putting punctuation into unpunctuated text, proofreading exercise to correct errors in the text. These are the exercises which you can do for the writing skills. Now, to know these ones, you can find the definition and example in the glossary, or you can check it in a grammar book and find it. You will find these ones. What are they? Or just Google it. So those activities, you need to have that with you, a list of it, which you know that when I'm doing the writing skills practice with the children, these are the activities I can do. So for your own notes, the teachers need to have, for example, some students want to improve the writing skill. So writing skill, it doesn't mean just you give a sample letter and a sample of the essay or composition, okay, and let them to copy that kind of and write it. No, that's not the way to improve. These are the things, activities which you have to do different ways, and these small activities, they get together and then make, you know, overall thing. Like, you know, when somebody, you know, the cricket, in the cricket practice, when professional, they are doing the practice. So for each and everything, they do the practice, net practicing, one kind of, other kind of. Why? Because all these small type of practicing, then it's getting together and tell you how to perform in a match. So the same way you have to collect these activities. So now this, they have given you a list of writing one. You need to know how to improve the writing skills of the children and what type of activities to be done. So these activities you will find age-wise. Okay, for this age, these sort of activities are needed. Or for this age, a little bit high level of it, difficulty level will be different. Okay, but activity will be the same. So you need to have your knowledge about it, that what can be done, not just to give practice of the writing essay and with a sample one. No, they need to know these things, how to transform the sentences, you know, how to punctuate the sentences, how to do the paragraphing of it, you know, likewise, how to put the linkers in it. All these things you need to have a practice, and it takes time. It doesn't happen at once. But if you see, for us in the school, the writing part is the easiest one. Why? They give some sample thing and they just write. Story they can write, essay they can write, you know, a letter they can write, letter, complaint letter they know how to, they can write a postcard, they can write a invitation letter. So these all samples we have given. So they have memorized that and they can easily do with some changes. But that creativity is not there in that. All right. So next one is, many activities exist to help learners. Okay, this is we did. Next one is, many activities exist to help learners practicing communicating through writing. For example, story completion, jumble picture stories, writing birthday cards, writing emails and invitation. Now, story completion. You have half a story you have given, half they have to write complete till the end, you know, how it ends. So they have to think about it, and that's the communication skill in the writing they improve. Or jumble picture stories, you have given different kind of pictures, different way, and they put it together and they talk about it and they write about each picture. This is what is happening in it. Likewise, birthday cards and writing emails of invitation and all that. So it improves their communication skill in writing. We can support learners in their writing by moving on to writing after doing some listening, reading, and speaking on a topic. In this way, learners have already worked on the language of the topic and may have developed ideas about it. Another way also, writing skills improvement you can do even you did the speaking activity. Then you can ask them to write the things which we discuss, and they can give their own point of view in that. Or you did the listening part and you asking that to write about what you heard about this. For example, they did the reading part. So you can ask, okay, find this kind of information and write separately, or summarize the text. All these writing skills one you can do mixing with the other skills, sub skills. Right. Next one is teachers sometimes work with models. Models, clear example of text type when teaching writing. Now here they say models sometime, but in our way it is always. They just give a, which we call sample letters, sample text is given to them. Models can show learners what pattern of language, vocabulary, register, or layout to use, or how to structure their writing. They can also help learners to get ideas about what to write. Models are used in guided product writing. Okay, so model which we give to the student of model essay, model letter writing. Okay, so that's also one way to help them to keeping in mind the ideas and then follow it up. Next one is we can also guide and support learners in their writing to use a process writing approach. Process writing approach is that previous page we discussed about. With this approach, the teacher gives learners the opportunity to work through the stages in the writing process. They move from planning their work to drafting it, then on the editing, redrafting, and proofreading. This approach allows learners to focus on different aspects of writing at the different times. At planning stage, they focus on developing ideas and organizing them. At the drafting stage, they focus on finding the language to express themselves. And at the editing and redrafting and proofreading stages, they focus on evaluating, looking at the strengths and weaknesses of their ideas, the organization of these writing, and the accuracy of their language. So which we talk on the previous page. So all these things, like you see, what age at the primary level, what's supposed to be done, secondary level supposed to be done, what language wise in the writing, what they need to improve, and what type of activities they have there, and where you have to focus and give according to the age group of that. Then communication activities are there, how to improve in it. So all these things we need to take in consideration when we are improving the writing skill of the children. All right, is that clear? Any question? Is there any question, Thinava? Or how we say in singular? Any prashna, Thinava? No prashna? No. Nilosha, any prashna?
No, sir.
No prashna. Okay, fine. Then we are going to have a 5 minutes break. And after the break, we are going to continue with the next skill, which is listening part. Okay.